Well, isn't this something? As I was sitting down, getting ready to record this video, I discovered that Behavior sent out one of those little forms, little surveys about stuff. And what do you know, what's on there? The Black Banquet. So I'm just going to take this video to essentially regurgitate what I've already left in that survey and kind of get everyone else's opinions on this, because I know I've seen everywhere that people do not like this event, me included. I mean, some people do, some people like it, but I'm not one of those people. I'm absolutely not one of those people. So yeah, I've got another little notepad here of everything I wanted to talk about. So I'm just gonna get started. I've got everything in a bulleted list here, so I'm just gonna, I suppose, go down the list of what I wrote first. I'm pretty sure I've covered everything in here. First things first, stamina should be more forgiving. The stamina bar that the poison bottles give you, it drains way too fast, and the walking feels like it punishes you way too hard. So the whole thing, if not completely redone, then the stamina bar itself probably has to be maybe 1.5 times as long, 1.5, 1.75 times as long. I'm not really sure what I'd change, but the whole feature just seems a little too punishing. Next up we have invisibility sound should be louder. The invisibility effects as a whole I haven't really had too big of a problem with, but when it does become a problem, it's so annoying to try and just keep an ear out, listen for where they're going, and then whoops, I mistook a direction that they went and now they're all the way over there. It's not that terrible, it's probably the one I mind the least of the 3 effects, but it can just be a real nuisance. Now I suppose keep in mind that this is all coming from a killer perspective, as I mainly play the event as killer, so I obviously have the killer-sided opinions on things. I know how fun it can be to just vanish and then you have a really awesome clip, but it's just not fun for the other side. Next up are the unbreakable pallets, which I would say could just completely get rid of the unbreakable aspect of them. Maybe keep the replenishing broken pallets into fragile ones. That would probably be fine. But completely remove the unbreakable pallets aspect and just replace it with the ability to pick back up downed pallets. Not repair broken pallets, but just make upright downed pallets. That is just a fine effect, I think. There's no reason to be making pallets completely invulnerable. That breaks like a fundamental aspect of the game. Next, I have portals should give killer instinct for the killer. Like upon you go through the portal and you get killer instinct, because too many times, just survivors turn a corner when I'm chasing them and there's a portal there, and whoop, they're gone. That shouldn't happen. Obviously, it wouldn't give killer instinct on every survivor, probably just within maybe like 24 or 32 meters. Just something to give you a direction of where to go after they just disappear. And then also for portals, no item refreshing. Why would you make that a thing? It just doesn't make sense. But replace the item refreshing ability with just faster portals, where survivors enter a portal faster. That I feel like is fine. It might be a little annoying still, yes, but the whole event in and of itself is annoying. The way everything is designed, it's not balanced naturally. It's quote-unquote as the developers intended, so they're not going to really change too many core aspects about the core mechanics. But yeah, remove the item refreshing and replace it with just survivors go in portals faster. Next up, we have the Sprint Burst Meal. I've already forgotten what the actual food item is called, but the thing that just gives you a little dash. That sucks so bad. Too many times I'm lining up an axe hit, and then boop, they eat food, and they're gone. That shot means nothing now. So I wrote down to replace little dash with just a 3% haste for 12 seconds. That genuinely won't do much, but it's still something. And then finally, as a general note, only heal survivors within 32 meters of completed tables. Why does it globally heal one health state? That is so dumb. It has been the bane of my existence multiple times where I get an injury, I get a cool axe shot, and then bam, they complete a table. That does nothing. Nothing happened. I just wasted time, and they get to complete generators because there's still 4 of them alive. It is so dumb. Sure, you can keep it. You can keep the healing, but just reduce it. Reduce the range. There's no reason to be able to just heal everyone in your team just for putting 4 plates that could spawn right next to the thing. That doesn't make sense. So restrict it to 32 meters, if not, then like 24 meters. Something like that. 32 meters is probably better, but... And that's all I had written down. So now, I guess we're just gonna go off script for a little bit. In my experience, the invincibility effect, when you eat the food and you get the invincibility, it can be really annoying. Yes, it can be just the thing that makes me not able to get the down when I should. You know, they eat the invincibility just at the right time, so then they make a pallet, and then they drop it. So, whoops, there goes that chase. But, since I only play Springtrap, really, in the event, and his axe is one of the projectiles that I know can hit through the invincibility, most of the time, it's not that bad for me. I feel like the duration is good. You know, it's just enough to be useful for the survivors, and it's not too much, at least in my opinion, where it's incredibly overbearing. So I feel like that effect, weirdly enough, when I'm talking about complete invulnerability, is the most balanced of the 3. And then as far as desserts go, as far as killer versus survivor effects, I can't think of a more accurate description right now than the coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb. Because what do you mean survivors just get to eat a little bit of cake and then you can't find them naturally? While killers eat a little bit of cake and then you can do something that you can do normally just by looking at the ground. What actually does blindness immunity do? If someone has gotten legitimate value out of blindness immunity, I need to know. Because to me, I don't even bother eating the dessert whenever it's available. I just find it a waste of time most of the time. So in this survey, as my recommendation to kind of make the desserts better, I had said to replace the blindness immunity effect with 4.5 seconds of OR reading of all survivors. I feel like that's fair. But anyway, more onto the survey stuff. Other than the quality of life and like weather and graphics updates, feedback and stuff that they had, the thing that I'm most intrigued about is the future license ones, because Bendy was up there. In my recommendations for other licenses that weren't up there, I had put down murder drones because Sin would make a great killer, I think. And then also FNAF Secret of the Mimic. Even though I know FNAF is already in there, I really want the Mimic as a killer, and Murray's Costume Manor would be a really cool map in the style that's kind of similar to RPD, where it's like like a little outdoor bit with like the front gate. You could have the 2 gates outside, like how MCM has it. It would be cool. It really would be. And the Mimic is a generally cool character as well. I really like him. He could have some fun mechanics. Hell, you could basically take him from Bite by Night, the Roblox thing that still is under maintenance. You can take him from that and put him into DBD. Tweak him a little bit here and there. It'd be sick. But that more or less wraps up what I had planned to talk about. There's the obvious, balancing and enjoyment issues with the base game of DBD. But I mainly wanted to talk about the event and things surrounding that. Because the only reason I kept playing it a couple of days ago was for the faster queue times for Killer, because no one wanted to play Killer in the event. I had a 6-second queue time. 6 seconds. So yeah, I don't really want to keep being a Debbie Downer. I am excited about the weather updates and graphic overhaul for DBD. That looks really cool. I really, really hope that they make it so then killers can see better in the weather. than survivors can, because that just makes sense for like the horror movie suspense vibes that DBD is trying to go for now, or wants to go for. Little note, I am also very excited for the user-generated content stuff. I am very, very excited for that. But I'm just mainly excited to see Springtrap in the rain. It's gonna look crazy. It's gonna look bonkers. I'm gonna be very happy. So yeah, I think I'm done. Quick, do the YouTube thing. Do the YouTube thing. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about my ideas in the comments. Tell me about your ideas in the comments. Tell me about how you feel about the event in the comments. I can guarantee, not guarantee, but I can probably assume you don't like it just like me, because no one really likes this event. Buzzword, goodbye.